2, 1.
Just use Shining Sun.
Tweacz, we're in the building.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a minute. What's going on, Buddha Gang? We got some people waiting to hear the news.
Mm-hmm. They're waiting to see if the old man Cloudia still stands up to the test of time.
Yeah. I mean, we've taken a hard left from many waifus.
Yeah, not... This game doesn't... It's actually really funny. This game doesn't...
Capitalize on that.
Cater to the waifu audience, like, at all.
That's probably why we're so niche.
Yeah, the whole non-waifu, non-furry game is... Yeah, probably not going to be very fun.
There's the gang. What's up, chat? All right.
So
Shall we dive?
I love to see those green.
The
green
green.
names. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Buddha fam in the building. Shout out to you guys supporting your boy, keeping me off the streets. So,
I think I would like to start off by saying congratulations to you.
Oh yeah,
for getting top 10 in the time trials.
Are you jumping to that? I didn't even do the intro.
I'm jumping straight out because I think people need to know that you gotta you are dust.
Listen, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little.
No, I just gotta congratulate you, bro, because that's pretty sick.
I know. I was trying to make you proud, so thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for my acknowledgement.
You're doing great. Although I can't believe you stole my strats. So
stole your strats. Hey, listen, you offered them. You gave them to me, right? I don't rank unless you tell me what to do.
Yeah, so. Unless I tell you what buttons to press. Exactly. See,
same thing. You
don't have the base knowledge enough to do that. That's just crazy.
Well, actually, I just give you my account, and then it's easier.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry. Yeah.
So anyway, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for another Power Creep podcast with my coveted co-host. We have Tweacz.
What's up, fellas?
In the building, and we're back, everyone. Can we all just wave goodbye to DMC? The era of the rerun is over.
Dude, that was a great collab.
Great collab. Brought back some great things. Introduced some other wonderful things. In your live stream earlier this morning, I saw some people still walked away with no V, no phone booth.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you have been around for the whole collab, and you decided to not get both V and phone booth from the collab, I feel like we should put you in a list, and then we should publicly shame you.
Either that, or like we can have a waiting list, and then when it comes back, we'll email you to come back because it's just not worth playing. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. I felt like we did a good enough job of putting out the importance of having those things, but some things fall through the cracks, just like those cheaters. But
Oh, I mean, we're gonna get into it.
Anyways,
do we want to save that for a little later?
Yeah, we can obviously save that.
Okay. All right. So what we do have to talk about is who you can see on the screen. Lagrobos the Wise. I mean, slightly younger version of his original form is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, I don't know the time frame of it. I think he has lore in his his library or whatever. Yeah, his little profile thing. I haven't read any of it.
His Facebook profile.
Yeah, his full Facebook. But he's supposed to be the young Lagrobos. So
yeah, and that's respective because he's like thousands of years old, right? Like he's obviously a character we've all probably seen in another fiction film series.
Well, no, I don't think I don't recognize him.
No inspiration drawn from anyone.
No way. The color green doesn't match at all.
No, that's
nor with the wrinkly head and the long ears. No chance.
No, no, totally coincidence.
Totally.
I think so.
But yeah, he's pretty sick. He is a mage, dude. Like, we've been looking for a long time for mages in general, and for good mages, for PowerCreep mages. Like, we've had Maja for almost a year now. In the meantime, I mean, even right before that, Shift Eliza was fantastic. We just got Lennius, who's an awesome mage.
Yeah.
And now this is the next one. I mean, it took almost a full year to get 2 mages. So, 2 good mages, I should say. I don't know. I don't even remember if there were any in between, but he's a very good mage.
Yeah, you walked away with him, obviously.
Yes.
How'd your summons go?
It was not too expensive. I did not listen. I didn't have to pity him, which happened with Nero and friggin' Virgil. So like, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels better. It feels way better to not have to do that shit. But he's pretty solid. If anyone was in my stream earlier today, like, I can't hate on the dude for. He's probably our best Rainbow Mage we ever had, and that's again in the context of we have power creep happening, sure, but like we've never had a unit that can just cap on all magic with the same build, on all 6 attributes and non-attribute magic. Like that's ridiculous. He's that guy. He is that guy. So why don't we get into his kit? How about that?
Let's do it.
How about that, Buddha? Lagrobos the Wise. Obviously he's a mage. You want to build him intelligence. His skills. Now here's the thing. People were like, "Oh, how about his skills? Can he be a hybrid and stuff?" And I'm just like, okay. Even if he could have some good hit counts, like his S3 is like 25 hits and it's map wide and awesome. Cool. His caps as a physical DPS. You know, if we talk about physical DPS, we do about physical damage per second. With the caps that he has, it's essentially negligible. This is like, well, I think you mentioned it. This is like caps from like early 2020.
Yes.
Like from the very start of us getting cap raises. I think the first cap raise was like Roland or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't. It's just not that great. Mm-hmm. It's just not good. So, what I do think is that he has some utility in his skills. Yes, I think his S3 can be used as a wave clear, especially for things like IGC3. If you walked away with the phone booth and you have skill charge 3, and you have maybe the poems or the Freno band, you can actually get him to very, very easily clear IGC3, which is awesome because we don't have many units who can do that. But for damage potential, in between like your spells, you're really not going to get much out of it. And with that said, I think enabling his spells by using his skills are actually pretty interesting. I think outside of the damage that they bring, I think they're more utility for him. And I think a more important part of it, the physical side of him, is his ability to get MP back. Because I mean, I'm going to jump ahead. His regular attacks are ranged. Now, little note there. They are line of sight, which is very annoying to me. I mean, they're not perfectly line of sight. They're like, the cone shaped away from him. So they're not like, he doesn't have to line up like perfectly, but they're not non-line of sight. Like you see with like V, with like Emtheria, like those kinds of units from anywhere on the map. He cannot do that, but they do pierce and they do hit pretty hard. So as long as you build him correctly, if you build him for full mage with like things like phase change, Goddess Kiss, he can sustain his MP incredibly. So I bring it back to the skills. The skills, in my opinion, are not that important. He has his S1 is a long range, 6 hits. S2 is a long range and gap closes. It's in 13 hits. And his S3 is probably the gem of the crop, which is 25 hits and hits every single enemy on the map, which is sweet. And I mean, I've heard in general for things like Arena where Spellrunner teams are severely weak to long-range neutral attacks, this can hit very, very hard. And, I think for not bulkier teams, this is going to work very, very well. But for when you just roll into like a Swordbender team, this is not going to do much. Definitely useful, just utility-wise, much better than it would be like, serious damage. In all seriousness, serious damage potential in PvE. But special-wise, I actually think this is a really cool special. Of course, many people have commented on the fact that like he actually brings out a lightsaber, which is hilarious. They're not suggestive at all.
Not at all.
But yeah, it's straight up Yoda.
There we go. It's been said.
It's straight up Yoda. But 52 hits. It's only one enemy, which is not my favorite, but he doesn't really have any like damage boosting capabilities in his kit for his special in the first place, except for like that one thing on trait 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It doesn't really impact me that his special is going to be very good.
No.
But yeah, so let's get into his traits for a real quick second, because I think he gets a ton of damage potential from here. Sorcerer's Vicissitude, chance. First of all, I just want to throw it out there. The words that they're starting to use in these traits are things that I have personally never used. So whoever's doing these, I can imagine it's like Kit, because Kit seems to me like he's a pretty knowledgeable dude. I don't know where the hell they came up with this, honestly. I don't know if they have a thesaurus or what, but it's pretty funny. But Sorcerer's Vicissitude, chance for all magic attack to deal criticals. So this is cool because this essentially enables all 6 attributes as well as all non-attribute magic to crit for him, which gives him the ability to crit Proud Force, which if you're not capping already with whites, it'll give you the ability to, do extra damage via crits. So that is really cool, in my opinion. Most units only have the specific critical magic abilities of the attributes they actually use, but he can do every single one of them, which is sweet. Magical attack damage plus 60%, love to see that. And then when using non-stacking magic, damage cap plus 13,000, boost physical attack damage based on int. So what you're going to see in this kit though is his ability to hit very, very hard on non-stacking magic. Unfortunately, that does not include stacking magic. So stackable magic, things like Tornado Storm, things like Sulfurina, things like obviously anything without a TS stamp, it's just not going to get the cap boost that he likes to use. And with ultimate casting, with the amount of boost that he gets for non-stacking magic, it's just not going to apply, and that's unfortunate. But his non-stacking magic hits hella hard, which is sweet. 13,000 cap there. But the last part, I know I talked to you, went over this in your little reveal video. Boost physical attack damage based on intelligence. So he has innate thaumaturgy, as well as does stack with thaumaturgy if you wanted to put it into his kit, or things like Science Flag. Science Flag is a great option for him, in my opinion. So things that are going to help his physical damage, and not necessarily for his skills, but more for his regular attacks. I think it's really important. Trait 2, Xenoglossia. When only one weapon equipped is one staff, heal and special damage plus 120%, damage kept plus 6,000. All right. So one staff, he wants that. I really don't care for this, honestly. This doesn't help his physical attacks overall. It's only skill and special damage, which I don't think his skills are necessary to use, honestly. And his special is not really that necessary to use. So if you wanted to forego this completely, that's fine. His skills themselves, like I talked about before, they're more for utility, not for actual doing damage, because it just caps just aren't there. So it does help him if he has a staff, but it's nothing crazy. More so, I would love if this was physical damage plus 120%, because that would actually help him get MP back via Goddess Kiss. But
yeah, I thought it was a really interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not ideal.
Doesn't feel cohesive.
No. Yohasan's throwing out warships. Nice. Good stuff, man. When using skills, stock magic power and boost damage cap of next attack magic use. Now I want you guys to make sure you realize this. Stock magic power and boost damage cap of the next attack magic used. So if you cast a spell, okay, it starts off, the animation goes off, you cast another Tempest, and you start smacking skills, right? Those skills are not going to affect the magic you just cast. You're not just going to be doing 80k caps, and then as you do skills, it's going to jump 3k. No. It's a ramping effect before you use the next spell. So, and that's on spell animation, or the completed spell animation, not the animation, what am I trying to say? In the completed spell queue, once that's completed, that will use however many skills you used right before that. I don't know, it's just a little semantics for the thing, because I feel like people were thinking hey, you instantly use a spell at the beginning of battle, or as quick as you can, spam some skills, get that boost up. No, it doesn't work like that. It would be on the next consecutive spell. So, but if you do use 5 spells, or if you do use 5 skills, or every skill before that gives you 3,000 damage cap, you can get up to 15,000 damage cap with the next spell. which I do wish it kind of lasted more than one spell, but I get it. It's probably a little bit too powerful to last more than one spell. Because 5 skills is a lot to use, especially for his innate stocks. I think it's like 5, 2, and 1, which is like his 5 is almost like his whole stocks. But yeah, does not. So what they put it here is excludes magic that regularly deals damage. That they mean like the circle spells, which don't do that much damage, but do decrease the resistance of enemies and deal like a tick of damage every 6 seconds. It's not that. It's only actually attack magic. Or the attack magic of it's nice.
Dude.
Attack magic of the spells cast themselves, like longer spells. But yeah, so I don't know, his trait 2 doesn't it's not crazy, right? So the first part is like I don't really care for this in my builds, honestly. And the second part is like situationally, like if I'm using skills, okay, but more in general because he has such slow casting, I'm probably going to be instead prepping a new Q for the next spell.
Exactly.
So his trait 2 to me is kind of useless.
I agree.
Now there is a situation where I think against Pablo that I had the opportunity to be able to do this because they take time spawning in, and you can use spells and shit to prep yourself. But other than that, using it in the middle of battle to like force yourself to use skills and then not having another spell queued up, I don't see many options for that, or many optimal scenarios for that. But so why don't we just go over his stuff, right? So here's the interesting part about his kit. He has a lot of stuff innate, which is really cool. His wise charisma is sweet because it gives the entire party 20% magical damage, but it also gives the non-stacking magic damage cap plus 5,000. For him, that's great, but also for people like Lenius,
oh my
that's
gosh,
amazing.
Even Shift Eliza.
Shift Eliza, sure. I mean, 5,000 non-stacking magic damage cap is great, especially for, lilies. Both of the lilies will love this, and for future-proofing, or for other mages that are going to come out in the future. That's going to be really solid for enabling them anyways. I mean, for the longest time, we had base Lagrobos, who, had kind of fallen off as a awesome mage. He was a little overshadowed by a lot of other mages, but he was still there for enabling and support of mages in the party because he had that charisma. Now this is 5,000 non-stacking, which is really nice. Of course, you can only have one unit in your party using non-stacking in the first place. So like if you have him in the party with Lenius, you'd probably won't be wanting Lenius to do the damage because a lot of the times he can get higher caps with that charisma, but that's kind of like picking and choosing because then, Shift Lagrobos is just going to be sitting in the corner, pretty much doing nothing, which I don't love. But his spells, man, are great. He has 5 attributes with the non-attribute spell. So he has Big Bang for fire, Absolute Zero for ice, Another Tempest for earth, X-Radia for thunder. And he does have Black Hole, which is sick. We've only ever seen this on our best mage that had this was probably Sheeta, and he's still really good with it. It's just a really powerful Black Hole with massive damage. We haven't seen that before. Seeing this with the crowd control that it provides, like centering enemies, that's really strong. It also has a chance to inflict silence. I don't know. I actually don't remember what the chance exactly is for that, but it's inflicting ailments on spells is great. So yeah, this is a fantastic spell. I love to see this on him, and I think it fleshes out the difference between him and a lot of other mages that a lot of other powerful mages, that he is the one with the dark spell at the moment. So Black Hole's sick. Then we get to Apocalypse. This is this description is the one-hit Apocalypse description, as we'll see in the future, or in a little bit about the Apocalypse Meteor transition from that. But Apocalypse, he does have Apocalypse, which is the classic spell from the homie Lagrobos, the OG Lagrobos, so that's nice to see. Sorcerer's Barricade. Give unit a buff to cut damage from enemies a set amount. So when I was testing this, and the end game build that I was using, it was cutting damage about 33-40%.
Really?
It wasn't. Yes, it was doing that. It's nothing crazy in my opinion, but just having this on just gives you when set this last part magic attack damage plus 10%.
Take it.
just, yeah, why not? Just have this on. You don't even have to use it. Just get magic damage plus 10%. But I think this is very useful to him because this is a separate buff. This was stacked with all other damage cuts. And I can appreciate that, to be honest, because he's a little bit flimsy. Has great survivability in general because of convergence and Goddess Kiss and all that kind of stuff, but just a little bit flimsy. Now, I did talk about, he has 5 attributes and non-attribute, which is sick, but he can, mind you, also do another attribute. He doesn't have anything hard linking himself to any of these, just as much as he does have anything linking to light, which he doesn't have innately. So if you wanted to throw in Galaxy, which I have, or you wanted to throw in Shining Zoc, which are probably the 2 best light spells, non-stacking light spells that you can use outside of Starverse, because we cannot learn that, these actually do work very well. So that coverage right there, every single attribute and non-stacking, 7 different ways to attack an enemy. I'm sorry, that's and probably capping all of them, or each one in the scenario that you'd be using it with the same set of skills is nuts. He has some very strong ability to cap on his magic. So why don't we get into his actually passives, because he has some pretty nutty things here. MP max, Magicka max, Arcana max. Yeah, that's the 6 SC skills or the 4, 6, and 6 SC skills of all of this stuff. Pretty nice. Critical up 2. Obviously, if you want to be getting Proud Force to get the heals off of every single magic he uses, I would do that. Illusion, cool. Beast Geyser, 6 geysers for free. You'd love to see it. I'm sad he didn't have all 16, but 6 is cool.
I wish they would fix that name.
Yeah, I wish they would too. I think the other one that is like this is like Fiend Shield, which is like Brute Shield essentially, because it protects like damage mitigation from all of these types as well. Like the defensive passive, which is just very confusing. It's like Beast Geyser is the same thing, Brute Slayer, and then Fiend Shield are all like the 3 that are all the same types.
Yeah,
which doesn't make any sense. But having auto-critical innate is great for his survivability for crits and stuff. Auto advance magic circles, 2%, basically 2% plus 1 MP for every 6 seconds. Awesome. Auto recast for free. Awesome. Sorcery Awaken. This is the first time we've seen this, which is essentially Awaken, but instead of the strength boost, we get an intelligence boost, which for him, as a mage, yeah, that's pretty nice. You love to see it. Moonlight 2. Of course, this will stack with Moonlight, base Moonlight, if you felt like throwing both on there. So I like this a lot. Ardor, critical rate at max HP, sure. No attribute attack raise 3, which gives him his Apocalypse as well as his physical and regular attacks, or his skills and regular attacks, some more damage boost as well as damage cap. I do think using a neutral or non-attribute weapon on him is preferable in almost every scenario because of his ability to get this. You probably don't have to use that, in all honesty. You can probably use most things because this is his really only boost to non-attribute damage. So you don't have to, but you could. Immovable Object, Hallowed Magitant is stuff that we've seen on pretty much the best mages. I mean, just having these in general, more cast speed and, ability to not be interrupted, barring very high flinch things. Super nice. Ultimate Casting. Now, this is what we've seen from Maja, right? Ultimate Casting will force him to have a max cast speed of 40%. So it cuts the casting speed in half, so you need it generally 80 or above, and then it cuts it in half at max at 40. What this gives you in return for slower cast speed is absolutely ridiculous damage cap potential and damage boosting. It also costs quite a bit more for using spells, but my god, this thing makes people hit hard. This is one of the main reasons why people think Maja is an absolute nuke, because he has just stupid high damage caps and can hit them very easily with his light magic. Lagrobos, on the other hand, has the ability to do that with all of these things, or all of the attributes, which is kind of nutty. Some of the main reasons we're getting into a second as to why he has such good damage potential. Sorcerer's Wisdom, I will say, you love to see it. Staff Intelligence and Rogue Mind plus 100%. We have some crazy stats with like almost 300, 400 intelligence. When it starts getting, like I know you and I talked about, when it starts getting to like those 50%, 75%, 100% multipliers for stats on things, that's when it starts getting super relevant.
Yep.
So, yeah, a very high intelligence staff and a very high mind robe will do him justice, for sure. Staff boost and staff mega boost. Notably, he's missing staff high boost, but that's okay, because these are very nice. These will tie right into his kit and give him some nice boosted damage for his magic. Robe high boost as well, giving magical damage as well as more mind for, you know, those healing procs. And then we start getting into some pretty interesting things. Magus Magic Aura, which we've only ever seen on Sheeta before. You can put on here as well Base Magic Aura, which is essentially the same thing except without the damage cap. Yes, it's going to dump your MP into some very high cost spells, but holy crap is he going to hit hard. I personally use Magic Aura as well as Magic Aura together. It gets absolutely wild. So that this right here, the fact that it stacks with all the other boosts, you know, his spells will cost a lot, but this is one of the main reasons of why he caps so easily. Is this. Now, Convergence. What we talked about before is that he does have some pretty good survivability, with the reason being he can spend his MP in order to decrease the damage that he's taking. So things like, I think it was Shift Zekas was the first one we've seen with this on. I think Maja also has this. We've seen a few people with this, but dude,
what?
The ability for him to get procced for MP back is kind of awesome. If you throw Goddess Kiss on him. So he is not unkillable in PvE, but he very nearly, with a fleshed out build, he very nearly can solo a lot of content just because he has like almost infinite health, which is crazy. Zerodom, yeah, so he wants to be right up next to an enemy, and this is going to make him cap super, super easily. I don't think it's that important, but if you have a big boss and maybe you're sitting behind a boss with like surprise attack and shit, with like things like you might have done with Lennius already, and getting super up in a boss's face, this is going to give him a ton of boosted damage. And I really, really like this skill in general. I use it all the time on Lennius. This is perfect for him. Fairy Speak. Now this is the interesting one because I don't really see much compatibility with in general gameplay for this, right? When using Summon Beasts, give unit a damage plus 30% damage cap plus 3000 buff for the same attribute as the Summon Beast continues until incapacitation. The unfortunate part about this, and you know, it would be good if you could just set it and forget it, like a summon. But the unfortunate part is that you actually have to use the summon to get the cap boost, which in about 99.9% of gameplay, I don't even use summons at all anymore. And I'm sure as hell, the same thing how I feel about specials, the same thing, I'm probably not going to sit through a special animation. Like, unless, I don't know, it just doesn't fit with me, right? It doesn't fit with my gameplay. I don't know how many of you guys use summons. If you guys use summons all the time, great, this might be good for you, but I personally do not. And the fact that you have to use it to order to get that boost is interesting, because it's not that big of a boost. If it was like damage cap plus 30% and damage cap plus 10,000, I could see that. But summons are a thing that you can't really control. Like, you can control a little bit, but you can't really, I don't know, get it very quickly or purposely try to get. There's no way to cheat the summon system like you can with like your specials, like Great War Rune and stuff like that. So I just don't see that useful. Now, the effect itself can be used with the respective summons if you had to, right? Ignite is fire, Granadaria is ice. If you're using all those kinds of magics, that'll get you boosted. We have Lumekia is light, Babolat is dark. Now, the other two that are Salmia and Yggdrasil, I've heard differing opinions on. Yggdrasil is 100% earth. That's going to work with earth. But then we also have Salmia, which I've heard from Lake. Lake said it was light, and Barleen said it was neutral, so I don't know which one it is. And honestly, I don't really care to find out. I just don't think I'm going to be using summons to figure out what their cap is, and that's something I can maybe do later, but no. So Fairy Speak, I don't think it's very good. Apocalypse Meteor, though. Buddha, you love RNG. if I remember correctly. You are just a biggest fan of RNG.
And
you know what? We just had Shift Nero, so like everyone loves RNG, right?
So fun.
We all play gotchas, right? No. Here's the thing. Apocalypse Meteor is a very good skill, or a very good spell, because this changes your Apocalypse into doing exactly what it does. It essentially makes your damage caps and then your ultimate casting and all that good stuff. You can hit like 170, 180k plus per hit. But the problem with it is that the hit count is random. 7 to 13. I don't know why they did this. Of course, you get a fat roll for 13. Yeah, that sounds awesome. It feels really great. But if you get one for 7, you're like, where is my damage? It's useful, but like it's not as useful as you guys think, honestly. I don't know. It's still a good spell, and being neutral, it's definitely our hardest hitting neutral spell as of now. Even with the base caps, it's still going to hit harder than the base Apocalypse. It just feels a little bad that it's random. I would just wish it was like 13 hits. Like, why not?
Or even 10.
10 hits,
Just
yeah, sure.
Take away the RNG.
Yep, I agree with you. Make it consistent. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, I think probably...
I'm going to use him as a Rainbow Mage is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, me too. And because he claps. How do I build him? And this is what I build. I have on him all the MPs, some magic ups, some arcane ups. I literally want all the MP possible. You love to see it because the more MP you have, the more MP you'll get back from things like Pose of Honor when you kill, and more things you'll get back like MP after battles like Archangel's Blessing, Ale of Honor, stuff like that. So more MP is best for him. Proud Force I did add, like I talked about before, he crits on all his magic. Moonlight to stack with Moonlight 2 because I'm planning on him being full HP. Pose of Honor, like I just mentioned, more MP. Goddess Kiss. Now this is one of the main things that I think needs to be added to his kit if you're going to be using him in a lot of content. Because his spells cost so damn much, you're going to run out very quickly if you don't have in longer battles, if you do not have the ability to get some MP back. And boosting his regular attack damage and keeping it neutral will allow you to do that in a lot of content. With that said, there are ways to boost his regular attacks up quite a bit. Phase Change is one of them. This is actually pretty nice because it's a stronger thaumaturging essentially for his regular attacks. This adds in 50% of the intelligence to his his regular attack calculation. So this is for 9 SC, that's really strong. Not only that, I think I don't have this on him, but if I was to bring him into a specific battle, I would add a killer the killer that I don't have of the enemy that I'm going to pre-procking Goddess Kiss for, as well as special boost. I think those are very important for getting some really solid Goddess Kiss procs. And then like Staff Eye Boost, Robe Eye Boost, Magic Aura stacked, Giant Purge, which we just got. I think that's on a UR if I just remember correctly, but still very good for killing boss monsters. I think this is a build that I would be using a lot of the time, and this will cap because of Magic Aura and Magic Aura. It's going to cap a lot against enemies. Those are some crazy high boosts in my opinion. But Buddha, should we go over the paids? His paid's pretty sick.
I haven't looked at him.
Here's the thing. Okay, I'm just going to preface this. The staff is amazing. One being, not only is it a good staff, it doesn't have the highest intelligence, sure, but it has 50 MP, as well as 30% non-stacking magic damage, 3,000 non-stacking magic damage cap, and non-stacking magic cost minus 3 MP. The main thing you're using with him is non-stacking magic. So extra cap, extra damage potential, and minus MP across all non-stacking magics. Okay, that just further improves his Rainbow Mage ability. Now it is a paid equip, and unfortunately, this is an extremely strong one, and not something we've seen on like any other mage that has this. Or this is. There's only one other staff in the game that's really gonna make this almost as good as this, probably better, to be honest. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's the Theopolis staff, the Archon 1 Granazon, which has 388 intelligence, which, mind you, that does double in his because of his sorcerer's wisdom
huge.
Or whatever. But it also gives 35% magical attack damage. Yeah. Support magic doesn't really matter, but the 35% magical attack damage across all attributes and non-attribute is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But outside of that, this is the choice, unfortunately, for a lot of people. Like, we have options for staff, and we have options for, specific attributes, but like there's not many there's not many extremely good options for magical damage across the board.
No.
And then sadly this is going to be one of them. I'm not saying for people to pull, but like this is pretty damn good. Now, the other one I would mention is something you can get from Tower, right? This is one we've talked about before, the Maiden Staff Quiddity. Magical attack damage plus 20%. This is great because it's a achievable staff from Tower. You get it for free, or not get it for free, but you get it using tokens. You can grind it up, God Forge it, and at max you get plus 20% magical attack damage. As well as it gives, I think, 229 intelligence. Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's other options, but this is pretty strong on him, the paid stuff. Ferif Hanvas. His robe. I'm like iffy on this, but the main reason I like it a lot is one, continuous aura, and then the 50 MP.
Of course.
So MP. He's a MP whore, so you're going to be one thing as much as possible. The fact that his two paids have 50 on each of them is kind of strong for his usability.
Absolutely.
Which is what they're just doing. They're leaning so heavily into this. I don't love it, but it's pretty good on him. I think the next thing I have on him right here is the Cultist Pendant. Like we talked about before, he needs 80% cast speed in order for ultimate casting to cut in half to 40, which is his max. Having auto recast and high level magic hand innate gives you 50% casting speed, so he needs another 30% to get there. This is going to do that. I think running him without Cultist Pendant is a grave mistake, and I think that's this is almost like a necessity on him at any given time, if you're going to be using ultimate casting for sure. This second accessory doesn't really matter in my opinion. He's at this point you're probably going to be capping, and if you're not, here's the things you could use. If you wanted to go like 200 MP a spell, you could just straight up throw on Nightmare Mask, Nightmare Hat, and make it an extra 25% more. If you wanted to, one thing that I have run on him is the Elder K Mask. One reason being is that I maybe don't really care about his skills that much, and I'm okay with the caps that he has without using skills before the spells, sure. But what this does do is this: if you're using a Goddess Kiss build and getting his MP back while he's not casting a spell, all he's going to do is regular attack and get MP back. So this is something that I've used on him when I'm not controlling him. Like if he's just in the AI in the corner, and regular attacking and or using spells, and I'm using a physical DPS and remaining a physical DPS, this will keep him in line, essentially. He's not going to warp in with his S2. He's not going to use his other skills, but he's just going to sit there, either regular attack or cast magic, which works great on him, to be honest. But right now I have Sage Lord's Ring. Of course, his caps are so high, this is probably negligible cap, but I was running it anyways. But yeah, there's some interesting things to use on him. But he's our first, in my opinion, really good, probably our best Rainbow Mage. I know we talked about before, Maja could do any spell or any attribute well. Sure, yeah, great. Here's the thing. Without like the appropriate boost in his kit to boost the magic of other attributes other than light, Maja falls a little short, which is not his issue. It's like he's still a light magic starverse nuker, like unbelievable. But he also doesn't have the ability to get Black Hole. He also doesn't have the ability to have neutral magic. Those things are what make Lagrobos very unique, because he has not only, yes, he cannot use Starverse, but what he does have is 6 out of the 7 automatic best spells in their respective non-stacking categories. He doesn't have Starverse, but Galaxy is also a great option because it's pretty quick and non-stacking, and Shining Zoc does work. And I think you and I talked about before the podcast just a little bit like, oh, he can't do that, do Heart of the Temple really well. Well, actually, our Shining Zoc works. So we'll see. Why don't we get into testing just a little bit?
Yeah, I was curious about what you meant by that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, his caps are so high, it's not linked to any attribute. It's kind of nutty. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw in Gorm here because he is just going to chill and get all the enemies. I actually do love this new SSR Ark, but we're not going to use it real quick. What should we use, huh?
What should you use?
Honestly, I'm just going to go put that Ark on. It's fine.
Do it, man.
This is actually like a great easy clip.
Yeah.
Like non-stacking magic, damage plus 20%, int mine 15%, recast, regeneration, and damage cap. Like, I know we haven't talked about it yet, but it's just like a very easy plug for like any mage you're using for non-stacking magic. But yeah, let's go here.
He's pretty much right on T with, I think, at least what you were talking about and my predictions with him in terms of his performance. Ultimate casting really just puts him in this niche category being created by Maja.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Maj is still the goat of light magic, 100%. But, like, he's not shabby at it either. Like, seriously. We'll do Apocalypse first. I don't think this is going to kill. And you see his slow casting. Sure, I get it. So we're going to stack another one on top of this. He's not going to kill. He doesn't have the damage potential.
Yeah. And I know you talked about it.
I don't know how many hits that was.
But, like, for these kinds of mages, I personally want them to be queued up so that those non-stacks chain back to back to back.
Yes.
With his whole gimmick in that trait too, like you were explaining, I just think that 15k damage cap, it's decreasing his DPS.
Yes, I think so too. So the time frame that you're using to use skills and build up the next cap, but also not have the next spell ready, is a little bit detrimental to his DPS in general. So yeah, I would agree with you.
It's an interesting to say the least. But
yeah. So one thing I wanted to do real quick is do a little Goddess Kiss proc session, because I think it's really important for people to realize how good his regular attacks are. Let me see this real quick. There we go.
Yeah, that was a big determination factor. If he was ranged or up close.
All I'm going to do is Soldier Shield, Special Boost. Now, I do have Phase Change on him already, and I'm not going to add anything else. But I need to take off a little bit of things. I probably don't need Giant Purge here, so that's an easy fix. And then MP up 1, sure. With that said, I would probably at this point add something that's going to give him MP. So why don't we just go, I would, or not MP, but physical damage boost as well as MP. Because I would normally dump in, like the, the Equilibrium Sphere. But Desert Rose, since we're getting 60 MP on this, as well as no attribute met attack damage plus 10%, which helps not only his Apocalypse, not only helps his Earth Nether Tempest, but also helps his regular attacks because we're using a neutral weapon.
And 60 MP, you said that?
That's my pick. Yeah, 60 MP, thick. So he's 1,010 MP with this.
Golly, that's some Spirit Maiden Tyria stuff.
I mean, his spells do cost quite a bit. That's the thing.
Yeah, I saw someone call it out in the comments.
Yeah, fine.
Luckily, the MP ups are pretty accessible.
So rather than using skills between spells, you should probably be using regular attacks, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So here we go.
If you're not
so he's using that. Awesome. And now we're regular attacking.
Boom.
Oh, look at that. 199. I mean, these aren't the strongest enemies, but still. Like, that's a lot. You know, let's use something else. Let's use, where you go?
Yeah, but even that normal attack, unless you need the MP.
Yeah.
That cast queue time is brutal. 82 caps casual. No big deal. No support. That's some big numbers.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If you know you're going to be fighting using a certain attribute, and you can build for those attributes like boosts, high boosts, whatever, you don't have to use the magic auras, magic auras. That's more for like a rainbow build if you wanted to just crush the enemy, and just walk into pretty much any battle. But you don't have to use that. You can use any other boosts that are not going to cost you MP. Pretty chill.
But it would be important to substitute the boost.
Yes. Yes and no. If you're fighting a weak attribute that already gives you a pretty nice boost in itself, and that's more of like a trial and error
That
thing.
is true.
You can't always tell what's going to hit hard and what's not. So the one thing that I did want to do before because I think I still want to show off a little bit of Heart of the Temple. Let's do that first, because I'm just going to take off all of these things. Charisma, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm interested here, because you didn't test this in your stream.
No, but as you can probably understand, it's probably going to work.
Because how much health do you have to get out?
1.3 million. He has 80k caps.
Oh.
Shouldn't be an issue.
No. Why did I think it was 2 mil?
1.3.
Whoa.
Wait.
You didn't turn off the charisma.
Oh my god, I pressed cancel, didn't I? Oh, savage. No.
It's okay. It happens.
Huh? Heart of the Temple, blah, blah, blah. Damn it. I didn't turn it off. I thought I did. Rip. Okay. Here we go, Lagrobos.
It is interesting to see a portrait picture of him versus the little blip that we've known, the sprite, and then his actual OG art.
Dude, I love the actual portrait in game. Okay, right, that happens with Maja too. He's sometimes regular attack. That's fine.
It happens.
But Shining Zox can absolutely nuke, unfortunately.
How many hits is it? Yeah, it's just a little. It's just a little slow. A little. It just
doesn't hit as hard.
It doesn't hit as fast.
That's fast.
No.
But yeah, it works. Totally works.
What do you?
I probably wouldn't use Galaxy for this, but this is this is a very good option if people are going to be already using Maja. Now he did regular attack first this time.
Yeah.
14 seconds. Yes, that's about right. About 11 seconds is 9 to 11 seconds for Maja. This is 11 seconds. He absolutely can do it.
Yeah, 11 seconds.
Without any extra help, right? This is a light magic spell that we've had in the game for since pretty much the beginning of time. And you could use that. You don't have to. You're not relied on Starverse. Can Galaxy do it too? Yes and no. Galaxy is RNG, so it hits across the map. It can hit, but it might not kill every enemy. That's the issue with it. Shining Zoc is going to hit the whole map. It will kill.
Interesting.
Very good option if you do not have Maja. He absolutely can farm this as long as you get Shining Zoc on him. Now,
nice.
The other thing that I wanted to show is, before I screw up his build completely, is I wanted to go fight with Pablo. And I know I was telling you before the stream, or just a little bit. I was messing around with this. This is actually hilarious. The just ease of killing. So why don't we do? I think I had this. These enemies are notoriously annoying for magic damage, but if you have the right setup, like if I use, first of all, he's gonna nuke anyways. But I just want to use some extra units, honestly. We're gonna use Lily Matter. We're gonna use Great War, and I'm gonna set him up for some elemental, call it. I am just concentrating at the moment.
It's okay.
Some earth damage, because as you and I both know, that what happened? Chuck.
It's just people. It's Buddha Gang, Buddha Fam going absolutely nuts tonight. Nice. Thank you guys. We are gonna do a little step up in between here in the podcast, so y'all have that to look forward to. Shout out to B Dizzle.
Nice. Starting the train.
Did a little step up sponsor.
Okay. I need to pose the glory. So there's one thing that I wanted to do here, and it's pretty fun. Is try to kill in one spell. Now, I'm going to just spoil it real quick. He cannot yet. Until we get more boosts. But it's going to be actually disgusting. And I think this is going to be a really good showcase of what exactly he can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when you know how much HP you're trying to nuke down.
So just for reference, the boss is 6 million hit points. Okay. I think I wanted to add in 1k stock. 1k. Oh, jeez. Rarity. Favorite. Yes. Bang. Boom.
What month is now? We're technically October.
Mm-hmm.
It is possible. Yes.
Possible what?
Actually, I don't. Yeah.
Possible for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
No, for him to be on Valentine's Day? No.
It's not.
It's not. No.
No, on White Day.
White Day? Ooh, that was in March, right?
Yep.
Beginning of March is the 3rd month, and we're almost hitting the beginning of the 10th month. No, it's not going to be a thing.
Okay.
It would have to be in April for it to be a thing.
A DOH selector or something.
Yeah. Well, that's actually not true because Ardeen was available in the White Day.
Ardeen was available in White Day, bro.
Oh, fair.
So was Maja.
So I'll do this. We'll do that. This is just going to be funny.
No, I think he can absolutely become available.
I think so too, actually. So we're chilling. He's gonna do our ult on us. Fine, whatever. He's debuffed. It's fine. And this is one spell.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy to watch it happen. To watch the health bars.
Huh?
Time those cast speeds. I was doing a lot of that last week.
Yeah, well, we might as well activate the special now. Yeah, this stuff gets pretty nuts, honestly. See ya, buddies.
Gross.
Yeah, so
Disgusting.
we're gonna go into this next one. We're gonna activate it immediately, and then we're gonna use 5 spells or 5 skills. So we're gonna get some boosted up because this is gonna affect our next magic. So I only got to use 4, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate. And now we're gonna go into the boss. So the boss is 6 million hit points, by the way. 6 million. Use one of these, and then we'll have the max boost. Now we're at 5 skills pre. Then we're gonna get the max, and then I'm gonna link up an after 337 years because this isn't gonna kill. That's 110. Almost had him. Almost had him.
Yeah. That's pretty okay.
Yeah, that was literally, yeah, bullying Pablo, which is pretty fun.
As if that hasn't been done enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nether Tempest is just...
Nether Tempest with Sandworm is...
It's just on another level.
It really is. It feels so good. The only last thing I wanted to do is screw up his build completely. And I want to do our IGC3. Okay?
Alright, you do that. I'm going to check something outside. I'm hearing weird noises.
That's no good, Buddha. That's no good. Alright, so we're going to yeet all this stuff, and I'm going to show you guys just how to build him for IGC3. Because his S3 does work here. So the main thing, like we've done with everyone else, and that I showcased a little bit, I know Buddha's talked about, you need strength higher than intelligence, and you need to get that S3 stock. So his S3 is like 52 or 53 SCT. So unfortunately, well, not only are we going to have to use Skill Charge 3 and Phone Booth, which if you got that right before the collab, great. Or, you know, during the collab, great. You're going to use Phone Booth, which is 30 SCT, 20 SCT on Skill Charge 3, as well as the Freno Band or the Williams Poems. So this is going to give you 53 SCT overall, and you're actually going to get an S3 stock to use, which is pretty much necessary at this point. But this is not a mage build. This is not what I would suggest to ever build him if you're going to build him for like normal content. Absolutely not. But to do this specifically, this is the kind of stuff you'll have to do. So take off everything except for some strength boosts. We don't need any of this stuff here. I believe I did want to give him a sword. I'm pretty sure I wanted to give him a sword. Yes, I did want to give him a sword. Dual wielding doesn't really matter, but you just want your strength higher than intelligence. I'm not worried about the trait 2. Not really worried at all. Moonlight, I would probably leave on, but definitely put on pride. Nothing of these. I don't think these are necessary. Maglion could help. Sure, why not? Sword boost is where I boost. Sure. No. Okay, I think that's probably it. I think maybe Sharp Eyes would help, but like, this is what we're working with here. So let's equip a sword. Sure, Kagutsuchi sword. Sure.
Still working on this build right here.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm pretty much done. It's just like Equilibrium Sphere. Sure. Okay, so make sure your strength is higher than intelligence, which we have 2200. We have no boosting in game for the intelligence, so this will be fine. I actually did want... Wait. I would normally put on Fast Brave as well, but since we have Brave on the paid row, that's fine. But yeah. So this should use his S3 immediately. And you'll see just how fast it is.
Pretty quick from what I hear.
Yeah. Yep. Let's make sure I didn't screw up the build. Yep.
Oh,
okay.
Goodness. You and this charisma, bro.
Listen, bro. That happens all the time.
I think we're going to need to have a team meeting.
Oh, my God. I didn't touch his freaking magic.
We need to do
it's
some
fine,
peer reviews, maybe.
Oh, my.
I'm going to have to consult some of these other top tenors.
Ping, ping, ping. Wow, dude. Okay, this should work. Charisma is very annoying because, you know, units with charismas and animals will almost always use them at the battle start. Almost always. He is definitely one of those units that's going to use it. So this should be an S3. And if I screwed up, I'm sorry.
There she goes.
Yeah, so considering it hits the whole map, it's pretty good.
It's a cool animation.
It's a long animation. It's not going to be as fast cycle time as some of your other units because they'll have smaller hitting skills like V. But that's damn consistent, and he can do it from any spot in your party, or as a support. So like,
yeah,
doesn't matter if he's in fourth slot, first, second, third. He's going to kill the entire map.
I think the biggest irony for me is that in order for this to work, you need phone booth.
No, wait, didn't we just have a collab with that?
Right, but then if you were in that collab, you should have V. So then,
yes,
you know. Like,
but hopefully for the people that did not get V for whatever damn reason.
Listen, we already have the protocol for those people.
Put your name down. Give your name to Buddha.
We'll let you know.
Be put on a public watch list.
And we'll let you know when the rerun's back, so you can actually get the correct start. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so he does IGC3. Yeah. Great, awesome. Does IGC3, can do Heart of the Temple. Is it a stupid good mage for damage potential? Like, I think we've done an hour on him, so I think he's we've just about run his course.
He's covered.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the arc or should we do these summons? I think we have to do the summons because I mentioned it.
Your summons? Step up.
Yeah.
Oh, little live step up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm gonna go take a quick second.
All right.
I'll be right back.
You do that.
All right.
You do that, and I'll take over.
All right.
With the segment that your boy Buddha is best at.
Your head's in the way. Bye.
I know. I'm gonna move it once I can figure this out. But all right. Well, now that your boy Buddha's back in the building, you can see my screen. We have the OG Lagrobos. And we're going to do a little summon session mid-podcast. Bring the mood back up. We just reviewed this guy. We just talked about him. And despite how much I do love Mia Maja, and this guy is literally just I wouldn't say superior in every single way, but it's pretty definitive how dominant he is in the magic area. Thank you to B Dizzle for sponsoring this session of the Step Up. You can see we have 828 paid crystals. We've got enough to run through this first lap, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I think we need some noise so you guys can hear. It's going to be a little loud. But let's do this. Not a lot of summons to go off of, but you never know. We're going to start with the curse mark and send it 2, 3, 5. Or was it 2, 3, 6 and then a 10 spin? Let's see what we can muster up here. No one walking up with us but Kraken at the SR. We've got 1 flashback. I don't have a lot of hope. 2 flashbacks. We do have 3 flashbacks, but it stays at the gold. So can't get too high. Can't get too high. Both SRs. Moving on. We're going to rotate to the left hand and send it. Do the friend ritual. I forgot about the friend ritual. That's how long since I've seen a summon session. We've got just Tyria and Zekis, but Kraken at the R doesn't leave me with a lot of hope. No flashbacks to our name. Leaves us with blues and golds. Well, listen, here we go. Here's what we're going to do. We've got the ritual to lean back on. Forgot to use all my friend points before the Super Friend Gacha expired, but that's okay, because it'll be back. These are the 2 important parts of the step up. The 6 spin and the free 10. So let's do our 1 and 2. 6 pulls right here. We're sending it. Leaving us with nothing. The awkward turtle on the 10 spin. Vember says, I will do that for you, my friend. Although, Kraken at the R with no one walking up with us. That's what I expect to see. We don't have much hope. But we do have the awkward turtle. Boom! Pull the trigger. Mr. Wall summon. We'll see who gets the luck. Tyria to start off the walk. Kraken at the R, but with a full squad. We can't discount this one. We have 1 flashback, but that's it. So we can discount this one. Big L for this step up. Not a single SSR. Not a single one.
Looks like my step up.
Oh, is that how it went for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just hit no accidentally. We've got 100 paid crystals. Go into the single daily.
Do it.
I'm not feeling it, man.
Bro, you gotta feel it. Come on. Come on.
No energy. 0. Not even worth getting excited.
Oh, rip.
Gosh dang it, bro. Gosh dang it. I just don't know what to... Oh, I slipped. Oh, I slipped, guys.
I'm sorry you slipped, bro.
I slipped. Oh, God. I slipped, and it looks like it's not going to pay off. We got 1 SSR at the very end. It's a duplicate of Icy Guardian.
What a great dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Great dude.
Yikes, dude.
Anyway,
Okay, well,
hey, what's the next?
enough of that.
Yeah, what's the next topic?
Okay, the next topic is the Ark. Why don't we move on? All right, good deal. Sorry to hear your loss. All right. Yeah. So I mean, we mentioned it a little bit. Ancient Fairyland at Mama Nap. 55 MP, some good intelligence, some good mind. A pretty strong permanent arc for mages in general, especially for ones that prefer non-stacking magic. Like Staff and Robe equipped, intelligence and mind plus 15%, which is already solid. Battle start, autocast, recast, and regeneration, which is really nice because autocast, recast, especially if you don't have like the Institute of Adana arc, if your mage does not have recast innate, having that innately it doesn't stack with if you already have recast innate, of course, but like that's pretty nice. And then when using non-stacking magic plus 20% and damage cap plus 1500. Cool. This is honestly a pretty good arc on, even if you don't have anything for Lennius, this still works on him. doesn't get all the full benefits, but damage cap and any damage cap on non-stacking magic or magic in general is still pretty good. Here we go. Learnables. So the most notable thing here, of course, the first two were always pretty general learnable stuff, but Magic Snipe. Attack magic anti-type effect damage plus 20%. So this is essentially like another way of special boost. This will make it so, you know, your effective damage is 120% instead of 100% only with special boost. It is additive. But for 3 SC, that's freaking awesome, dude. Honestly, for 3 SC for 20% extra damage, that's crazy. As long as you have the correct anti-typing, which is essentially geysers. You're going to be looking for geysers or masteries that are going to, you know, work for your units. That's a really nice skill, and for something that's on a permanent SSR, I love to see it. Reinforce on another arc is good. I think this is on what, like the Loug Mechia arc. And then we have Plant Geyser, which, I mean, is not a generally applicable geyser for all content, but in some situations, or, you know, in maybe a scenario in the future when a plant is giving you some trouble, Plant Geyser will be effective. And the fact that it's on a permanent arc is nice. Sorcerer's Wisdom. We've seen with Sorcerer's Wisdom 2 in his kit. This can be useful, but in general, I think I prefer, unless they're free, I think I prefer damage boost instead of like these weird stat boosts for the weapons themselves. Free, yes. Cost 7 SC, I don't think it's worth 7 SC, but up to you guys. I think the best thing about this learnables is 100% Magic Snipe, because first of all, feeling like you're sniping things is fun, but like that's just like, I don't know, that's a nice boost to special, and for a thing that we use often in builds to be effective damage, which is like the anti-typing stuff like Slayers, Geysers, Busters, Killers, all that good stuff. That is affecting your Geysers is awesome. The Archetype Reward, which is actually pretty good. 50 MP on a staff, first of all, is fantastic, like I talked about with the paid. And then this is our first staff, which is 30%, you know, a big earth magic boost. We've had, of course, like the Theo wand, like his paid have very strong boosted magic potentials for all attributes, but we don't really have one that has just earth. And for people that don't have those things that I mentioned before, this is pretty solid, especially for him if you're going to be using, you know, the Nether Tempest Sandworm build. So, and as well, it's usable on pretty much any mage that's going to be using earth magic. I think that should be noted. Very good AER for just in general for earth mages. Obviously, it's not like, you know, it's one single attribute, so like it's not applicable to every scenario, but still very good. The arc itself passives are very good. The learnables are 100% great just because of Magic Snipe, and then having other geysers great. Like it's a very good SSR arc, and I'm glad it's permanent in all things considered. I'm really glad it's permanent. Yeah, pretty sweet. But Buddha,
yeah,
why don't we just skip over? I know you're depressed, but we're gonna skip over to the event. So
yeah, there's some stuff to talk about.
There's some cool stuff. This is like the same setup as we've had with, you know, Sun Vessel Island. We've had with the other event. I think it was like the DB Ray or the Lagrange event that was in Grandar. Giving like the same kind of setup. You have these like the boss battle you do every day, which for us is the Zugless battle, and you have number one. You have like the cluster dungeons you have every day, the ability gates. You have as well the Drill House, which gives you which you get these tickets from the battles. You can do special training fields, soul accumulation, all that good stuff, which are really useful. You have these Loug Mez things around the map that give you like extra. They are doable once a day. They give you extra EVP points more than normal battles. And then you have this thing right here, the Interdimensional Rift Southwest. What this is your friggin' LB tower. Let's go, Limit Breaker Tower. This is where you get all of the frickin' 9-star materials for 5th enhancing. These god versions, every single boss in this has a 30% chance to drop, for this example, the Visionary, these Forbidden Beast Nucleuses. The boss in the god version. In the god version of Otherworldly, it's the Cursed Eyes. In the Worldly, it's the Feathers. These bosses all have a 30% chance to drop that. If you steal, you get a double chance at dropping, or even one or two of them, which means two 30% chances. Two 30% chances independently means you got a 9% chance of getting 2 of them, which is crazy. This is where orbs should go if you're expecting to dump in 5th enhances for a lot of units. Now, keep this in mind, because if you have extra, I personally have extra throughout the day because I'm doing the God version. To get max honor points in this thing only takes, I think, 6 repel rewards, or 6 times, so that's 12 orbs. The rest of the orbs can go straight up into this, in my opinion. But yes, you're gonna have to be doing the boss battle. Now, on the boss battle, obviously you'd be wanting to do the hardest version to get rewards. What's funny about this is that the friggin' support Lagrobos in this is so stupid OP. Like, he can defeat it by himself, which is nuts. If you're not using the actual support for the event, like, don't use friend supports for this. Unless you have they have a very well built Lagrobos for this, just use the event, because he can smoke this with just apocalypses, which is crazy. I've never seen this. I've never seen such an easy grind for the entire game.
I do want to give a shout, because I feel like they've been making this a pattern of having this testable version of the new characters be part of these quests.
They've had that quite a bit already,
really?
But the fact that this one is so potent and better than probably almost every friend support you could use, because he just smokes the battle with attribute magic or non-attribute magic, is just ridiculous. Yeah. This is by far the most effective support we've ever had for in-game. But yes, he does let you test it, and yes, he's going to look extremely good in this. And it's going to make a lot of people summon that don't know any better, because they're like, holy crap.
He's incredible.
This unit does this much, and I'm impressed, right?
Yeah.
Now, I do want to get into something, because this is really freaking funny. A little glitch that's available right now in the battle. It's all right, let me just turn all this crap off. Let me just rebuild him real quick. They let you stack stackable magic for whatever reason in this battle. This does not work normally, but it works at the moment for this battle. It's very funny. Like,
what?
Well, all right, watch this. So, normally you'd be like, okay, non-stacking, there's only one available. Like, you can only use one available in the battle. Either your Lagrobos or my Lagrobos is going to use it, but no. We actually can use both at the same time, which is just a bit broken. It's not like, and I mean actually broken, not working properly, because there's no way this should be possible.
That's actually hilarious.
It sure is. I mean, we don't need this, but I'll put it on.
So much SC to spend.
I know, it's crazy. I'll spend it, don't worry. And then Giant Purge. And I think that's enough. Okay, so where's his paid? Come back here. Good. Ah, man, this is why I don't screw up his build that often, and this is why I won't run him in IGC3, because this is pointless.
It'd be great if you had
Desert
a
Res.
build preset.
I mean, that only took like 45 seconds. It's fine.
Listen.
But here's the thing.
Our retention just got cut in half.
That's okay.
I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast podcasts.
Yeah, I believe you. So while we're here, though, I'm going to teach them something, because why not? I bought the pass, so I have 2 times AP on literally everything, so I might as well teach something. All right, so what's funny about this battle is that normally, non-stacking, like I explained before, you can only use 1 at a time. But
what about this time, Tweacz?
Watch this. So, Wise Charisma. Cool. Don't worry about it. Apocalypse. We're using Apocalypse. So, one should be stuck in queuing. 1 and done. They both use Apocalypse.
Good lord.
It's actually, like, broken.
Gross.
It's not working correctly. That was 2 Apocalypses.
And yeah, that is why we use the word broken. Because when things are actually broken.
This is not like an overpowered type broken. This is actually broken. Which is pretty funny. I've tried this outside of this event with another Lagrobos, and it just does not work. So
funny.
It is a bit funny.
Love a good
for whatever
old.
reason, it's the spaghetti code allows.
I was
for
gonna
that.
say, love a good old serving. Ah,
But yeah, so if you seriously just use, and honestly, I kind of want to do that again, just because I just want to use the support. I'm just gonna not cast anything with mine. I'm gonna use Wise Charisma and then just Apocalypse with him. This is how easy it is to clear with the other Lagrobos. You'll see this. You don't have to do anything. You could run in there with freaking level 10 units and be fine.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do the Wise Charisma myself, but he's just gonna we'll stack another Apocalypse.
I do believe it has to be the highest difficulty to get the most points.
Yes, to honor points. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's capping. Oh no. This is what you do.
Done.
That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just the event Lagrobos.
Yeah, also it's a 3-minute timer versus like speed running for any new accounts.
Yep.
I think we had one that was 30 seconds and then you failed.
Or you didn't get S.
Or you didn't. No, well, I think that was the last one. That was the Lagrange one. But
yeah,
there was one that was like you had 30 seconds to do it.
Oh,
or
AOT
else,
was
or else
60
it was
seconds.
done. No, but even it was a bonus quest, I think. So even if you didn't get the 30 seconds
I don't know
in the bonus quest, you lost that for the day.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, that's
But
because you
regardless.
don't have those problems, Tweacz.
Okay, that's probably why. People are saying things. First time you saw, I don't know if it's stacked. Galaxy's pretty quick after it doesn't really stack. Here's the thing. Yeah, you can do the event without having any units. You can just literally just do it with the event Lagrobos, which is hilarious for this first week. I think there's probably a part 2 coming. I think there's always a part 2 coming. So like, I don't know if it's going to be applicable to the second half battle, but for the first one, great. Now, why are you doing your repels? Well, here's the thing. Yeah, we talked about the LB tower being great, but not only that, if you do your repels, you automatically get 5 of these materials per day.
That is gross.
For every 5 of these is essentially another 5th enhance for another unit. So the first day, obviously, it switches in between. So we got Cursed Eyes, and then we did LB Worldly Feathers, and then we're gonna do the Beast Hearts, and then the cycle continues. So make sure you're doing your 5,500 points, which only takes 6 quests ish, right? With the support Lagrobos, we're getting a ton of these. And yes, unfortunately, people I saw Belly before and Corona are saying 6th enhance. We don't know when that's coming, but they are flushing us with these kinds of materials, and I'm not encouraged by that.
I know. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yikes, because 6th enhance may be on the horizon within the next 6 months ish. I hope it takes a while, but who knows. But yeah, shop. I haven't really bought anything except the actual charisma, but these are pretty nice. This is fine for autocast Brave and Aura, Fast Brave, Fast Aura, MP plus 20, awesome. Pious Guide's Earrings is something that we have not seen before, MP plus 5%. We don't really have any accessories that give a flat boost. This will age well, because the more time we get units with higher base MP, this is going to be even more potent. So while it may not be like optimal now, using an MP boosting item and then boosting that with MP ups is probably more vital. This is still pretty good. So definitely snag these. If anything, snag them and put them off to the side if you aren't using them. And if you're new and you just got Lagrobos, these are actually great for him. I did get the Prism already, but we do have gotcha tickets, lights, Ethereon, Mother Souls, Magic Tomes, skill books, one each of the mega clusters, which is kind of lame. Clusters. I mean, in general, if you're building units, this is the trading spaces are the best place to get these materials, like instant materials, right? Especially for newer players. So do what you will with it. Make sure you're doing your honor points a day. Even if you're a new player, you can still do the 6 quests and get max honor points. So pretty nice for quality of life for almost everyone. Literally no one can complain about, honestly, no one can complain about doing the repels and getting the honor points because it's so easy. Just do your 6, spend your 12 event orbs, and get it done. and enjoy the rest of your orbs. Like, spend it on the LB tower if you need to. Spend it on whatever the heck you want. So, pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Now, before we get into... Why don't we talk about time trials?
You want to do that?
Yeah, might as well. So, we just had the time trials end, and I know, Buddha, you were hardcoring it. You were like, basically, I'm not putting out any videos. I'm like just literally brain deading this as much as you possibly can.
Yep.
DMC collab. So, got to give shout outs to the winners. Dethrone ended up with the first place time of 3:49, which is sick. That's a really good time.
Crazy good.
I know the first place in JP was like 3:27, which is just unreal. He did use a different setup, but this, I think 3:49 would have put Dethrone at like 5th or 6th in JP, which is still amazing.
That's awesome.
Right? Awesome time. Gilga got a 3:51 like 4 days ago, I'm pretty sure. He couldn't improve on it, but really, really good run from him. Second place got some nice URS. Corono, who's in the chat right now,
dude,
3:52, very nice.
Mad
Also FreeTweacz
props.
cheaters, very nice. Awesome, congrats to you. Luke, so 3 are URS, 2 are URS, 2 URS, and then everyone else in the top 10 got URS. So we have Luke, 4th with a time of 4 minutes. Buddha, congratulations.
Hello. Yes,
Number
I made
5.
It. We did it. Yes.
401, sick. Vember, awesome, who was also here. 402 for 6th. BCR with an awesome time of 404. Vagabond, 406. Logan, 414, and Delia with 414. Oh, I didn't realize Delia jumped up at the end there. Nice. So awesome top 10. Everyone on here got Yordas and some pretty sick rewards. Otherwise, they did a really good job of getting most, if not all, the cheaters out of the top 20. I think they missed one, but yeah, awesome. Top 10. Yeah. Congratulations to all you guys. Really, really good times. And then we have dropping down Ichigo, which is in part of my guild. Awesome time. Monka 808. I don't really know who that is, but I mean his count seems pretty legit. I assume it's pretty legit. So great time there. Belly, awesome time. Part of my guild. Frick yeah, we actually ended up
number one
guild. Yeah. And unfortunately, I wish I could help with that, but
yeah.
Banned. Rip.
Oh, damn.
Triple Holdvar, which I was impressed with Holdvar. He's actually a relatively newer player, I'm pretty sure. And he plays pretty well. He was in my comments when I marked him down as a cheater. Rip. But no, very good time. Icy, which is like Shinobi in Discord, he does a good job. Asakura, Jawline number 18, got a 425, very nice. Olo, 427. Butte. So here's Butte, got a great time, but now we have G20. G20 is the only cheater left in this top 30. The reason I know that is because I can see every single maze floor because I've cleared all 30. If I have screenshots, of course, of his shit. He has the most ridiculous times in maze, and he's obviously using hacks. So this is the one they missed in the top 30, unfortunately. 100% a cheater. I don't really care if this 428 is legit. He's literally a cheater. We have no way of knowing if this is legit or not. So no kudos to him at all, because I think he should have been banned from rankings 100,000%. T-Main, awesome time. DK, great time. We got Cat, Hot Doggo, which I think is that bipolar? No, I don't know who that is actually.
He's part of the clan.
Oh God, who knows? Torrent HT, LN3000, who's just, I believe, Olo and him just got released from the shadow ban. So congratulations for getting top 30. Yat, Glacius, Meowmix, and 2D Moon. So some really good times. This is actually why is it on the top 31? Who knows? Oh, that's because I don't have it on top 30. Rip. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So top 31 times. Those were them. Some really good times. I think they got rid of all the cheaters. I can't speak for everybody, but G20 is 100% a cheater. And I don't know a couple other people, but assumingly they're pretty legit.
Yeah.
But Sassy Cat Guild did place number 1. Advocates of Gobble second. Some really good times there. Silver Society. And then Honey Elixir, which I feel for these homies because their number 1 ranked who's Kagaru, who ended up having a 347, was in fact a cheater. So they had the number 1 spot time in guilds, but they ended up falling back down to 4th once he got removed. So yeah. So
big shout out.
Solid guilds out there. Good shout out to you. It's all y'all fellas.
Listen.
Gave an effort. What?
I gotta give some shout outs, bro. Come on.
Bro, do it.
All the Buddha Gang guilds are in the top 30 guilds, okay?
Woohoo!
We got the Mob, Militia,
right
Official. We got 2 more below.
So Buddha Gang, Militia, Official.
Represent, baby.
Buddha Gang
Army and Buddha Gang Squad.
Damn, 5. Buddha, chill.
Baby. All 5. That's because we roll like that. We're deep, man. So shout out to them. And then, I mean, I'm stunned and also super proud of Vember because he's been playing for less than a year. And I was like, is he going to beat me right now?
Well, he almost did.
I'm looking at that. And I'm wondering if he didn't just because he didn't want to do me like that. So
it's all right. It wouldn't have really changed the rewards anyways. To be
it
fair.
wouldn't have changed the rewards.
I think 4 through 10 to get like almost the exact same thing.
I just would have been questioning a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate. No, I gotta say I appreciate all of the FreeTweacz in the top.
Hell yeah, man, we gotta represent that. I think it's absolute absurdity that you were not the first one freed. But of course, that's just my.
I have no idea what the deal is at this point. Like
how they handled the unshadow banning was one of the most let down experiences I've ever witnessed in my life. So I don't know how deep you want to go into that.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't. I mean, for people who are listening and people who've been around, I was first banned before rankings ever came out. Okay, I was flagged for, and I can openly admit I was using auto clickers to when we didn't have auto run to soul grind for units that I wanted to build. So was frowned upon. Sure, I did it anyways. We didn't have ranking, didn't really care. But from then on, I've never been able to rank ever. And not only that, even after these rounds, they have still not released me, which is kind of crazy because like I don't know what I'm flagged for anymore. Like, there's no way.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. So
it doesn't make any sense. It
just doesn't tell us what we're flagged for. There are people who have literally never macroed in their life who are still banned. Dude, Crypt is still banned.
He is. He double checked.
I had him go check on Maze Floor 1. He's still banned.
That's incredible.
For what?
It doesn't make any sense how they're doing it.
It doesn't make any sense.
It was just it was so gross to see, like, you know, obviously they sent out that message, said there was going to be this revamp. Lo and behold, I mean, I don't even want to call it a fraction of the people who are, you know, from that era of shadow banned then were not upon that update. And then there proceeded to be like 2 other known cases that you pointed out, Alo and LN.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a one by one, slow, just infuriating process.
It doesn't really make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what the prerequisite is for getting released. I don't know. There's many people in the community that have not even played or done anything in a long time and then still are not released. I don't get it.
Crypt not being unbanned.
Barely even plays the game. Like, he just auto
says
runs.
it all.
That's it.
It says it all. There was no like effort to mass review and then somehow lift that ban however they did it the first time. That was not done in this case, clearly, because Crypt has been inactive for however long.
A hot minute.
Minute.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's sad to hear, but I mean, congrats to you. You should have been in that top spot with a 345, which is just nuts.
342.
342. I'm in the past. That's right.
Bro, chill.
3 more seconds.
No worries.
You madman.
Yeah.
God.
It was a pretty strong time.
Very nice video.
In case I'm selfless plug, that video's out. And in case no one saw it, I did have it premiere last night, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people showed up for it, which is cool. So yeah, shadow banning is still a really big issue because, and that's the funny thing. I know people are like, oh, I want the rewards. Like, I'm not like unhappy. Like, or people aren't unhappy that I'm not there because like I do get it. Like, I definitely would have gotten number 1. That's the thing. I have missed out on every single ranking event.
Have you ever not been number 1?
I think the first before
I met you.
No, not before you met me.
Yeah, it's just.
I think Luke took the first Bloody Palace, and then the next and the 2 or the 2nd anniversary one. I think he snagged because of AOG Lily. I didn't have her yet, but since Nier and FMA didn't have one, but Nier and on, yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. Unlucky because it's just been, and I've been the shadow bans for us since almost day one players. We've been banned since the first ranking event ever was in the fall of 2020 with like the G Lucial event, some like, you know, point system that wasn't really a ranked wasn't really like ranked like time trial or anything. That's the first time we noticed we could not be involved. And then it was just like, it's never happened since. And it's just, it just feels really, really bad.
It's some BS, man.
It feels bad to not be part of the community. Because, like, as much as I can put out videos of my times and you know, basically get clout and, like, you know, maybe talk shit, like, show that my time was better. It doesn't matter, right? There's no rewards for it.
Yep.
It's like,
yep.
Sure, you're doing this all, but for what? For pretty much nothing. It just sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks to not be rewarded by it. So.
Well, hopefully, if we can pressure them enough, you will be the third account that they choose to look at, or at least one of them soon.
I mean, to be fair, I think I've heard a good bit now that people trickling down and getting released. So there are a few of the veteran community, and here's the thing: the people that have been banned for a long time are not getting released. The people that have been banned in the last year and or subsequently released, those are the people that are free.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, honestly. So, yeah, kind of bullshit, in all honesty. And I've obviously been talking to Barlene. I've been sending in, you know, tickets to try to get him banned, and none of it's come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
I think as much as I think Barlene is the community manager, I do think he has a soft spot for us. Like, I do think he wants us to get free, and because I put out videos for every single time trial, pretty much.
Of course.
Not just prove my innocence, but just like literally, you can literally see that I'm not cheating.
Well, and going back to Barlene, like, even he is a bit in the dark. Like, I honestly don't know what's going on. He even said.
Yeah.
So I absolutely believe he's an advocate for us, but it also shows that it's just deeper than I think we'd like to think it is.
It's deeper, and there's no simple button, right? So here's my thing. I think Billy said this earlier. For the people who got yanked from time trials, right? So I'm going to go with the most notable one, Kagaru. Okay, the most notable one, that was a 347. That was very obviously a cheater in Maze. Cheated in this too. He's still in the rankings for Maze. Like, there's no simple one button to just say, hey, this person's blanketed from all events. And I don't know why that is, because that's how it should be, right? If I'm in close your eyes if you don't want to see Maze times or whatever. I'm just going to go straight to floor 24. And we're going to go look at this real quick. So, there's no good way to do this, but I don't really care anymore, honestly. It's been out for 17 million days. Look at this. He's still there.
Yep.
Jay Jang, another one of the cheaters who got removed from rankings, still there.
So it's obviously not like I just want it to make sense how you got this blanket ban, but then there's all these cases of these one by one bans. You're banned from rankings, but you're not banned from Maze, or you're banned from Maze when you're not banned from rankings, and they don't want to give a reason. I honestly think it's just because if they did give a reason, they would lose a lot of credibility. Is what I think.
Don't mind that, but like, give us a bit of
clarification.
Yeah. Give us a date. Give us, like, you know, how long you're banned for. If it's a permanent ban, sure, tell me it's a permanent ban so I can quit.
Yeah, like literally just say, like, it's a hopeless cause. You'd have to make a new account.
Yep. Pretty sad.
Yeah, it's like you're just a good boyfriend being strung along.
Yeah, it's what it feels like. It feels like I'm being completely strung along, and it feels like a lot of us in the community are being completely strung along because of stuff, for whatever reason, they hold against us. So
you cheated on them that one time, bro, and they just can't forgive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a book about LC and the analogy of relationships.
Anyways, you want to bring this back up a notch?
Yeah, let's get back onto a subject. What are we?
LC Pass.
The LC Pass.
Yo, LC
I almost
Pass
did
is
it.
fire. I'm sorry, dude. For people who don't see the value in it, I am so sorry for you because
it's there.
It's.
But it officially just drew that line, bro.
What do you mean?
No, you hype it up. Say what you're gonna say.
Hype it up. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. You don't have to. But if you choose to want to efficiently motivate yourself to play the game and to do it efficiently and to level your shit, max out your account, this is a really, really good tool to do so. The fact that it costs $4 American, $4 USD. Now I know that's the exchange rate. I know Corona is from Brazil and all that stuff. So like it can be more expensive in other countries, maybe doubly, triply expensive in different things. But for a person in America, myself, who maybe Canada, Europe, it's not that expensive, right? For $3.99, $4 for me for a month, gets me an absurd amount of quality of life in this game. Number one, it gives me 5 extra orbs.
That alone.
Now, see, okay, so 5 extra orbs is not like, the craziest thing in the world, because if you're staying on top of it, the 10 is fine. Like, you don't always have to do that. But if you're not logging in every 5 hours to use your 10 orbs, this is beneficial, right? And I'm assuming most people are like that. Having 15 orbs to run multiplayer quests, to do your dailies, to do the event without having to come back later to do more. That's pretty nice. Not only that, I just want to talk about souls real quick. You get double the soul gain for all your soul spots.
So I want you to look at those numbers.
Yes.
Are you going to address that?
What numbers?
Look at how much souls you're getting. You said double the soul spots.
Right, double soul spots.
But
we also get a 1.5x during the event.
Oh, that's what it is.
So right now they're 3x.
That's
so
what it is.
So with the LC Pass you get 2x, and it's multiplicative with the actual event boosts. So during this event we actually have 1.5 soul gains, and that is now giving us a 3-time soul drops or soul regeneration, whatever. Not only that, which is crazy because that's if you've played in the last year, you've gotten that first week boost of double souls, which is great, but you lose it after a week. This is constant for a month, every month. Here's the funny thing. This double soul used to cost $10 itself for 1 month.
Yeah, no, I mean, the convenience itself for the value speaks volumes.
For both new players, old players, if I'm doing Godforge, this is huge. If I'm doing Arena and spamming refreshes and doing battles, that's huge. If I'm leveling arcs at all, it's huge. The second point is these soul tanks go up to 3.1 million, which is a million more. 500,000, which is 100,000 more than the normal cap. That lets you max an arc immediately if you have capped out.
And have some left for a freaking Godforge enhancement.
Godforge, teaching skills, all that good stuff. This is more than enough to max out an entire arc. So
it's good for all. Yeah, it's good for the entire span.
And having, especially right now with triple souls, is just absurd. The progress in your account is going to be boosted heavily.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I just want to preface this. You don't have to use it every month. If you do a subscription and you want to cancel it, you are more than welcome to. But if you want to use it for 1 month for a massive boost to your account, $4. I mean, if you're a hardcore, absolutely no money spent ever, free to play player, I get it. But if you are wanting to enjoy the game and progress a little bit faster than you would normally, and by a little bit faster I mean doubly fast, it's pretty awesome.
And support the game, because
it does.
As important as the free to play base and being able to enjoy the game without spending a dime, as much as that is important for especially I think this structure of game, they can't operate off of no income. So I think this is just a great way for those to upgrade their account, support the game, be part of that lifeline so that you can continue to enjoy the game if that's what you wish to do, and also not be breaking the bank and gaining all those benefits that you're laying out right now. But were you going to go over more benefits, or can I redirect you?
We can talk about the benefits. So one of the things that happens with the LC Pass is that we are supposed to get the 3x EXP.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the LC Pass only gives us 2 XP at the moment. So they know about this issue. They are obviously going to fix the issue. You can't spend something that you're promised to get and not get it. It needs to happen soon because people are going to get pissed off. I think that's generally bad practice to not have something that's correct in game that you're buying. So this better get fixed quick. But you will get 3 XP. As of right now, we only have 2 times experience. But that's for a blanket on your entire account. It used to cost $10 for an experience boost for every single unit. Let's talk about that. Every single unit. Not only that, is that with the LC Pass, you do get a 2 times AP bonus for every single unit.
That's what I'm excited
or every
for.
single arc. Now, what does this do? So I think I got over. I'll go back to the XP and how crazy that is. What happens here with the arcs is that this 2 times AP essentially means your daily dungeons, your 24/7 dungeons, essentially become your now dailies, right? So this was a 52x multiplier that you can only do 5 times a day. This skill study dungeon is now that 52x with the LC Pass, that times 2 for every single arc. What this does is it automatically learns every single skill. Actually, let me just every single skill on a level or a 100% ether arc, no matter what arc it is. So your 100% ether arc, 18, I think this is 18 out of 920. This is with a 52x. This learns it in 1 quest. I think it would be a better option if I just did like this. Yes. This would learn in 1 single quest now. The entire UR arc, which are generally take a while to learn with the 52x. And it's doable 24/7 as long as you have the LC Pass. There's value in that, in my opinion, because honestly, this whole thing is quality of life, saving time, right? They're saving you from even having to log in as much as you have to, right? You get more orbs, you get more value for when you're actually playing the game. They're letting you play the game less to get your max, progress, I guess you could say. But the EXP is kind of nuts because we have these things right now, like especially the event map and training field. My God, when it comes out, where we've gone across this past little meta change where Granada supports are massive, right? In this special soul accumulation dungeon right now, with a dungeon that gives 675,000 in base experience with a Granadas doubling that gives 1.35 base experience with a Granadas. At double that with your LC Pass, you get 2.7 million per quest. With 3 of these special training fields, which is available 3 times a day, you can go directly from level 100 to 110 in 3 quests.
Training field's gonna be so gross.
Training field's going to be absurd because we were getting with the 2 times 8 EXP boost during normal, it'd be like 1.8 max, and you do 5 different training fields, so you do it in a day. But now it's 3.6 million, which just makes it just so easy to level units. If you're looking to boost your account and get it quickly, especially even get gems, right? Like if you're boosting your crappy units, in my opinion, and wanting to get EXP for them and get those gems for like level 100 rewards, this is crazy value. What else is on there? Oh, we talked about the AP, EXP, souls, soul spots. We talked about the orbs. What we have left is multiplayer drops.
Oh, right.
With the LC Pass, on any multiplayer battle you do, you can get an extra drop. That is, we have yet to know the rates of that, if it's a normal drop rate, if it's like normal drop chance, or if it's a similar drop chance to the Rune Master. If it is Rune Master bonus, which I need to figure out the drop chances. If we have a Rune Master bonus, an extra drop of the Rune Master bonus, that's disgusting value. You know how much the Rune Master bonus matters in the best drops of farming for Godforge? A lot. Especially for farming for clusters, farming for the LB, the normal LB, or limit breaker tower stuff, limit breaker fields. That's going to be awesome. But an extra multiplayer drop is super value to me, especially for someone who does grind a lot of Godforge, does grind a lot of ability gates, does grind a lot of anything multiplayer. And for the future of this stuff coming out, that's super good. So those are the 6 benefits, and I think all combined for $4, it's hard to argue against getting it, right? Again, if you're from a country that it's increasingly more expensive than this one, I get it. If you are an extreme free-to-play player, I get it. But if you're a person who wants to accelerate your account, and if you just started in the last month, and you're like, holy crap, like I am zooming along. Like I know Vember, Corono, you guys have started relatively recently, within the past year. You guys have solid accounts, and you've been doing a great job of boosting your accounts. But like, dude, you guys see the value in this. I see the value in this. New players should see the value in this. And I know it does cost money, yes. So it's not free. It does cost you money. But like $4 for 30 days of just absolutely absurdly boosted content, or not boosted content, but boosted progress. Whew, it's very hard to argue against it.
It is. I picked it up because
I picked it up too. As you can see, I have the 15 orbs.
Figure I gotta give back. You know what's even cheaper than the LC pass?
Oh my god. Before we go there,
I'm not gonna shameless plug.
I think we should talk about the issues that people are having, or what they see when they say, "Hey, I can't buy it," or this notification. So right now, the way LC Pass works is it's a subscription, right? So on your device or on your platform, they so call it, on your device, so like iOS, Android, where you can buy it. Unfortunately, you cannot buy this on Steam because Steam does not support subscriptions with the payment plan, with the payment options they have. They don't allow that, but iOS and Android do. So you can sign up for a subscription. It's not like a once a month, a one-time payment. It is literally a recurring payment over time. So iOS and Android are the only ones that you can actually buy this on. Now, because of that, you cannot like repurchase this on a separate account. But it's an account-wide thing. Like no matter if you buy it on iOS like I have, and I log onto Steam, if I log onto Android, I'll have the pass available in my account. It's not going to do anything. I'll get the boost completely, no matter where I go with my account. What happens is when people click this thing in the upper right over here, this pass, it's going to tell you, wait, why is it doing that? Where's the thing? There was a notification it said. Anyways, there was a notification that said that something about, going to the platform and having to rebuy it and stuff. What that's telling you is that you still have the pass on this account, on this platform. But if you want to change your payment options for doing that, you're going to have to cancel the first one. It's not saying you don't have the pass on the account itself. But your account, as long as you have this gold thing listed in your visuals, like I'm on Steam right now and I bought it on iOS, I have the pass. Everything I'm getting, 15 orbs, I'm getting the 2 times everything. I feel like that's a lot of confusing because people use the term platform for specific like ways they play the game and not the ways that you would buy the pass, if that makes sense.
No, I mean,
no,
it makes sense
for people who have been confused by it.
It makes sense when you tell us not to worry about it, Tweacz.
Don't worry about it. You have once you buy the pass, your account, no matter where you link it, is going to have the pass.
No need to fret.
There's no need to fret.
No need to fret. But yes, a little moment of panic.
And yes, you cannot buy it on Steam because they do not support subscriptions there. You'd have to either use your iOS or Android phone, mobile device, iPad, tablet, whatever, or use an emulator to do it. But you'll have the LC Pass from there on out.
Hype stuff indeed, man. Hype stuff indeed. And looking forward to the 3.5 Anni.
Yeah, dude, we can. I feel like it's gonna be. It's hard to not say it's Adel, dude. Like legit. We're sitting here, and I know it's like his lore or whatever, his profile, but the literally final one says Adel and Lagrobos.
If that wasn't a little Easter egg.
Just like,
things are lining up. Things are lining up very, very nicely. We've been seeing Adel in a lot of event flashbacks that revolve around this era that he once was in. We obviously get this version of Lagrobos. We got Lagrange, who isn't really part of the Council of 10 crew, but it's an old version. We got Lennius. We got is that all? No, there's a fourth one. Sarah. We have Sarah.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's left in an upcoming hype anniversary date?
Yeah. It's hard to not see him coming up. Like, and even if he isn't, he's got to be soon, dude. Like.
Yeah, the setup for him.
Everything points toward it.
So, get your bootstraps ready. And another sword wielder coming to the game. Surprise, surprise. If that's happening. We don't know.
I would assume so. He's got sword in. Every time we've seen him, he's had a sword. So
yeah.
It would make sense.
But anyway, I hate to be the party pooper, but anything else? Because I was supposed to be done at 10:30, but I didn't tell you that.
You were hanging out with me, so I'm sorry. Tell Lady Boo that I apologize for talking to her.
I will, absolutely. I'm not getting in trouble.
Damn right.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I'm going through my mental notes.
Nope, that's it. Well, next week is part 2 of the event, so we probably won't do really much of anything.
Nope.
And then, honestly, the next week after that is going to be Anni.
Oh, that's right.
For next podcast.
2 weeks.
Hopefully, y'all have been logging in and grabbing your stock tickets, because those will come in handy.
Yeah, that's a huge W for free-to-play. And new players.
Yep.
So, yeah. A lot to talk about 2 weeks. Look forward to that. Thank you guys for being here live and showing the crazy support tonight. Despite the horrendous step-up luck. But,
despite the ugly old man on my screen.
That ugly old strong man.
Yeah.
Wish I had him, but of course. We've always got the selector banners in the future, so. Guys, I think that's all we got for you this time. Like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications if you're new. You guys know the drill. Thank you to my co-host for holding it down. Mm-hmm. And let's keep the movement going to get this man out of the shadow ban, despite what it feels like is impossible. You never know.
It does feel. But I appreciate all the support. I will say I appreciate the love. I did not expect that much, but on my YouTube posts from your community, it's been quite nice. So I appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. We support you here at the Buddha Gang. Appreciate all you do for us. So, with all that being said, y'all know what we say. Work hard, play hard. See you in the next podcast.